Good morning. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing the second half of my What Sold videos, which will be for last weekend, Friday through Sunday, May 10th through the 12th, and it was a really good weekend. I had some really nice sales on 3 platforms. Mercari still is not working for me. Let me ask this question. I've mentioned this in the past, everything I list starts on eBay, and then I use List Perfectly to cross-list to the other platforms. Since I started Poshmark, I think over 2 years ago, I've been putting all of my clothes, I cross-list my clothes onto Poshmark, but I haven't on Mercari. Is it worth posting clothes to Mercari? I like to sometimes just turn YouTube on and let it just play in the background while I'm working, and somebody yesterday had showed all the clothes that they were selling on Mercari, and I'm just wondering, is opening up a different category on there for me going to maybe, I don't know, help with the Mercari algorithm and hopefully get some more sales? So do you sell clothes on Mercari, and is it going to be worth my time to go ahead and start doing that? We just finished our inventory on the clothing. Robert went out there and we just kind of, he dug through the boxes and I watched. He had downloaded all of my clothing items that should be in the boxes onto a spreadsheet because, I can't blame it on eBay. I accidentally deleted 200 items last year, and that was the main purpose for this inventory, was for me to see what I accidentally deleted. But we all know eBay also drops stuff, and it ended up probably maybe 30 clothing items I had to pull to get, everything done on it again. The good thing was I went into Poshmark because everything's cross-listed to Poshmark for the most part. Not a lot of my newer stuff. But I was able to cross-list from Poshmark back to eBay, probably about half of them. So, that was saving me a whole lot of time. And then on the rest of these, I'm just going to have to start from scratch with pictures. And at least I've already got, the stuff in my spreadsheet. I'm just going to move them and assign new numbers and just start fresh with them. So, yeah, it's, be careful when you're doing end and sell similar, because even me, who has been doing it for over a year, sometimes gets distracted and makes a mess of it. All right, let's go ahead and get to it. Oh, wait, first, we had our monthly reseller meetup. For those of you who are new to our channel, it's been a while ago. We met another couple, the Trading Post Pickers, and decided to start, having dinner together every once in a while and talking shop and talking YouTube and talking eBay. And it's just kind of grown from there. Last night was our largest meetup, and I think we had 18 people at the dinner last night, and it was so much fun. The dinner started at 6:15. We finally walked out of the restaurant at 8:30, and then quite a few of us stood outside and continued talking till I think it was 9:30. It's just so much fun just to catch up and, bounce ideas, talk about YouTube. It was a really, really good meetup. We're trying to figure out next month. We rotate because we have people in several different areas around us. I think next month is going to be in Morristown. So if any of you are in our area and would like to meet up, we'll probably get something posted in my Facebook group at some point. And, send me a message, because we have a little Facebook private chat thingy. I don't know what it's called. I'm not techie like Robert. And that's where we do a lot of our talking and plans and, sharing yard sales and estate sales that we're at, that type of stuff. So just if you're interested, let us know. We'd love to have you. It's a lot of fun. All right, now let's get to it. First thing, I had 3 relatively good sales on Poshmark. I want to say I got these at the bins. I can't remember though. They're just a satin scarf thing from Italy, and I had 2 of them, so I just put them together. And they sold on Posh for $25. And then these vintage Coleman insulated can cooler holders. Anytime I see them, I go ahead and pick them up. They do better in lots, you know, of 2 or 3 or so. But these 3 sold for $27. And then Ryder's women's jeans. Ryder's, y'all, $20 on Poshmark. All right, I had a good sale on Etsy, and it's been a recent thing that I listed on eBay. Decent. I need to focus on Etsy a little bit more. I need to get all of my old listings that I let expire, pick which ones I think would be good to keep on Etsy, and then, you know, some of them I probably won't. I'm trying to only put my high dollar vintage items on there for now. You know, at some point, you know, I may choose to do others, but right now I'm focusing on the high dollar stuff. And I sold that Shira Princess of Power Crystal Waterfall. I picked it up at the Habitat Restore a while back. I paid $10 for it, and it's missing some key pieces like the tubing or whatever that you can use to shoot water, that type of stuff. But it sold on Etsy for $59.95. And then eBay. If you're new to eBay, I don't do free shipping. I actually don't do free shipping on any of the platforms. So when I say something sold for, like this item, $14.95, the buyer also paid shipping. This first item is a brass bud vase etched thing. I've got all of my brass listed from my profit piles, and it's relatively selling, you know, a few pieces at a time. This one sold for $14.95, but let me ask you this question. I got a message from them after they received it saying, you know, in the future, they wanted the item, but in the future, I should let people know if a vase holds water. And I never even considered that somebody would actually put water in a brass item. I just figure, you know, it's a bud vase. You're going to put some kind of bud in it. You know, I think a lot of times, don't you put like the little dome, if it's live, that has water in it? I don't know, but, you know, I apologized. And, but do you put water in brass? Because I think a lot of these, you know, sometimes they have like the screw, the base is screwed into it. So I don't know. That one confused me. I don't have a whole lot of experience with decorating with brass, I guess. All right, I always pick these up. These horse, you know, I've got to a point where I know when I see them that they are Lincoln Log figures. These are the horses, and you'll see one of the cowboys there, and then it was just a couple of extra pieces that I picked up at the bins, and they sold for $24.25. Logo Bear. Not something I'm going to pick up anymore. And I actually have 2 of these. A lot of times when you see the tag Logo Bear, you know, they bought it in bulk, a particular company, and they put a shirt on it with their emblem, their logo. Just not something I'm going to continue to pick up. This had been listed for a really long time, and it sold for $8.05. Aurora Mouse Hamster Gerbil, throw all the words in there, plush, sold for $13.45. Try Russ Teddy Bear, I think it also on the tag said Harvest Moon. It looks just like the Russ tags, but I'm not quite sure. I've never taken the time, I guess, to see if Try Russ is Russ. So I just always make sure I put what's on the tag. I don't just assume that something is what you think it is without confirming it. It is another really old listing. Just another Just Say No to Bears for me. Won't be something I pick up again. And it sold also for $8.05. Levi's men's jeans had the acid wash on it. Again, another really old listing. And I'm sending out sometimes 25%, sometimes 30% offers on anything that was listed before last year. Just trying to get a lot of the older stuff moved. And that's probably what happened here. And it sold for $29.48. Another brass piece. It is a candle pillar holder type thing, and it sold for a best offer of $10. This was a recent pickup from our friend's estate sale company. I bought a bunch of Cabbage Patch stuff on the last day of the estate sale. It was, a lot of them were the vintage Cabbage Patch clothes by Coleco. This one, I mean, it sold immediately, the same day I listed it. I went ahead and took a lower offer than I had originally hoped for because the elastic was like dry rotted in the pants. That's another one of those things. What do you call it when the elastic stretches out? I went ahead and put elastic in pants is stretching. But it's really, you know, breaking down because of the age of it. But I didn't really want to use the word dry rot either. That just kind of has a whole different type of, you know, thoughts on it. It's not that the clothes were rotting. They're just really, really old. I'm not sure what keyword do you use. All right, but it sold for $15. Same day I listed them. Depart West Trooper men's jeans. Listed them in March and they sold pretty quickly, $15.94. This was a pickup by Robert. It is a book, Murder Your Employer. Had its dust jacket. It was signed and it sold, again, it was listed in March, sold for $30. Pier 1 Imports. I like picking up dishware and figures and stuff like that. The plush just, for me, doesn't seem to move very quickly. Will I continue to pick it up? Probably, because, you know, it's Pier 1 Imports and a lot of them you can't get anymore. So, you know, I just have to wait for that person who, you know, is looking for it on eBay. But this little gray elephant sold for $11.66. These sold immediately also. I picked these up at an estate sale company, the same one where I picked up the Weeble's Magic Kingdom play set. I ended up, I don't know if you guys can see it, I ended up just keeping the Winnie the Pooh and Tigger Weebles because they didn't really belong to that set. But I went ahead and listed all of the other stuff. I kept the box. Again, you guys can't see it, but I've got the box because it was in rough condition. But the picture was nice. So I'm keeping it up there. Like I said, this person bought all of these probably the same day I listed them. The Kinner Pupcake Dog, the Custard Cat, and then the One Little Shoe. That was actually in the estate sale that I picked up all of the Cabbage Patch clothes also. It was in that bucket of My Little Pony stuff. Google Lens told me exactly that it was actually a strawberry shortcake. It's the shoe for the Huckleberry Pie Boy. And this person bought all three of these items for $52.50. Another pair of pants. These are Ann Taylor Loft maternity jeans. Again, really, really old listing. I don't normally pick up maternity clothes, but for some reason this was in our pile of stuff to get listed, and they sold for $12.61. Walmart Bear Plush, kind of had the 4th of July vibes from 1993. It took a while to sell, and it did finally sell for $25.95. Fisher-Price Geo-Trax miscellaneous trains and cars and bus. It was from my profit pile. I had a tote of just leftover Geo-Trax from other lots that I had picked up over the years. So I just decided to put all of these together, and they sold for $13.45. Again, profit pile stuff, y'all. It's all just selling and adding up, and it was things that were just forgotten, really forgotten. But I had a box of like kids cassette tapes, and this was amongst it. Somebody made a comment in my videos. I would have never thought to look up the Lululemon shopping bag that I've got some stuff from in a yard sale. And I check everything. I check everything. You know, when you've been doing this as long as I have, you can't be surprised by stuff that will actually sell on eBay and has sold comps. You have to check everything, including a Lululemon bag. So I checked this. I'd never heard of this person, and it had sold comps, and this one sold, yeah, and I listed it in February for $8.51. So not bad for a relatively probably unknown artist. Fisher-Price Constructs. This, y'all, I broke my rule. I've had this sitting for a little while because it was dirty. So I ended up putting all the pieces we have in our dishwasher. There's this top rack that's like right up against the top. I laid all of that in there because they were so dirty and dusty, and just ran it through the dishwasher. I didn't realize like one thing had a sticker on it, and so the sticker got damaged from the heat and the water and everything. But it sold very quickly for $22.45. This is Fisher-Price Constructs. Anytime I see them, I will take the time even at the bins to dig through a bin and get as many of the pieces as I can, because it tends to do really well for me. Yeah, this Black & Decker Space Maker Under the Cabinet Coffee Maker. I had a box in my profit pile stuff, and all that was in it was this and a coffee pot. Not even sure where we picked it up. Maybe at the bins. I'm not quite sure. But I sold the coffee pot, but it's actually coming back in a return because it didn't fit their coffee maker. But this is like the attachments, because it's a space maker to mount it underneath a cabinet. And these sold very quickly for $10. Twisted Whiskers. It is from American Greetings. There's a whole series of these. There's cats, there's dogs. Slow sellers though. I don't know if I would continue to pick them up. But it sold for $16.16. Of course, it's graduation time right now. Picked this up at the bins. When I got home, I realized, it's missing the doors. It's missing other pieces. But, I spent the time and the effort to get it. It had to be pre-boxed because it was large. And it took a long time to sell. But it is vintage Littlest Pet Shop. It is the Zoo building, and it sold for $18.68. Lucky Brand Women's Top, a little boho peasant shirt, and it sold for $13.51. Meerkat plush from the Petting Zoo Company. Again, took a long time to sell. Sometimes Meerkat stuff sells well for me, and then I guess it just really depends on size and other factors. It sold for $8.05. Fisher-Price Little People Nativity pieces. This is the palm tree. The fence was just with it. I'm not sure if it was actually from there. I listed it in March, but this is just one of those things. In my brain, I would have liked to make $10 for these two pieces. But I got an $8 offer. Is it worth, sending a counter offer for $10 and possibly losing that sale? No. I just went ahead and accepted an $8 offer on them. Cabbage Patch Kids outfit. Again, this was from the recent estate sale I went to, where I picked up a bunch of Cabbage Patch, and it sold very quickly, $14.95. Full asking price. Hadn't even gone on sale yet. Classic Toy Company. This is just a tan bear plush. Looks like Pooh, but I could not confirm anywhere on the tag that it had anything to do with the Disney Winnie the Pooh, because a lot of times there's two brands like Prestige and Carter's. A lot of time might be, related. And a lot of times, you can have a Disney plush with a different brand, but nothing told me that this was Pooh, even though it looked like Pooh. So don't keyword spam. If you don't know and you can't figure out if it is Pooh, don't put Winnie the Pooh. Again, it took a long time to sell, but it sold for $8.95. I'm thinking Moulinex. It's a brand that I like to find. It's small appliances. This was a food processor, had lots of pieces and parts, and I just decided to, divide it up. These were the blades with one of the stems, and it sold very quickly for $20. Fisher-Price Puffalump Kid. Yeah, I probably could have kept it, but I don't need another Puffalump. I've got at least one over here. I've got the orange bear back there. I guess that's a bear. So I just decided to list it. The light stick was not working. That was why I went ahead and listed it at a lower price, and I took a best offer of $20. Dakin Misha plush. This was 1980 Olympic mascot. Again, I don't think I'll pick up Olympic stuff very often. They are very slow sellers. And this one finally sold for $11.44. Fisher-Price Wonder Pets. I tend to pick up most things that are Wonder Pets. I think I just picked this one up again this weekend. It is Ming Ming the duck from 2008, and it sold for $15.25. Levi's 550 men's jeans, $14.17. This is another old listing. Puzzles are tough because of the weight of the item. Yes, I do discounted shipping, but a lot of times they're 2 and 3 pounds still. So, you know, they take a little while to sell. We like doing puzzles, so I don't mind taking lower. You know, we'll pay $1 or $2 for them, and I'll sell them for $8 to $10. But it's because we like doing puzzles. But this one sold for $9.86. Now these next two items, this person bought both of them. You know, I see others who pick up these cross-stitch framed art things, and I have a whole wall. I didn't do any of the work, but I have a wall upstairs in my living room that is just full of cross-stitch and needlepoint framed art. I love it. But you can only have so many of them. I don't know if this is another thing I'm going to pick up anymore because it again took a very long time to sell. This person sent me a $40 offer, which, you know, I was ready for it to be gone. And then she also bought this one. It was an unframed work called Be Careful Man. And so she paid $50 for the two, and we were able to ship them together. Homeschool curriculum. This was from something we picked up several years ago. I'm down to like, I want to say 1 or 2 boxes where I had like 10 boxes of these. Robert picked them up when he was out visiting his parents one time at a churchyard sale. We pick up a lot of Abeka and Bob Jones University. It's very popular in the homeschool curriculum network. So, but sometimes it takes a while to sell. And right now, a lot of parents are looking for next year's stuff. So I probably will sell a lot of what I have left. But these 2 books sold for $11.44. The funny thing about this curriculum, I'm pretty sure this is the one, they had paid media mail, but because we have the discounted shipping going right now with all of our over a pound items, priority ended up being cheaper, which is just odd, very odd. They must have been close to us, and you know, because the package was going to be 9 or 10 pounds. So, you know, we always pay attention when we sell stuff and they've paid media mail or even Ground Advantage because, you know, we have to consider the boxes that, you know, we know how much we paid for our boxes. But sometimes they'll pay Ground Advantage or media mail and it'll be close enough in the price that we'll just go ahead and upgrade because then we can use free shipping. So, you know, if you've got Ground Advantage as your first option in shipping because it's cheaper than priority, you might want to consider making priority first. I'm not quite sure what's going on with our water back here. It sounds like maybe a dishwasher is running. I don't know. But yeah, consider making priority first because most people don't mind paying a little bit more, especially if you're doing the discounted shipping. If you're still doing the commercial rate shipping, then yeah, there's a big difference between Ground Advantage and Priority. But with the discounted shipping, sometimes it's only, less than $1. And so, a lot of our boxes are 50 cents, $1.50. So we just upgrade and use free shipping. Use free boxes. Oh, I'm about to skip this one. Yeah, snapback hats. There for a while, I picked up a lot of them. Around here, we can get them for like $1. They're everywhere. A lot of yard sales, but they just don't move for me. So I have backed off on picking them up, but I have a lot listed. This is a Sherwood Food Distributors hat, and it sold for $12.20. Another small appliance replacement part. This was for a Krups ice cream maker, and this is just the freezer bowl that went inside, and it sold in less than a month for $17.95. This one was a surprise. I like picking up Circo, which is Target brand, but this was just a little small 6-inch gorilla. There is a larger version of this that sells for crazy money, $50, $60, I think I remember. But I think there was only one of these listed for this price, but when I went into WorthPoint, there had been a history of this item selling for quite a bit. It's 6 inches tall, and it sold, I think the same day I listed it, for $35.95. And then, y'all, I sold the last one, which is kind of sad, but I had 3 of these dolls. I picked them up at an estate sale a while ago. One sold almost immediately, and then the second one took a while, and then this is the last, but they had been priced $20 each. I had never seen this doll before, and y'all, it is creepy. Creepy. 1972, her name was Saucy Expressions, and when you pumped her arm, her face changed. Her eyes would open and close. Her mouth moved. Creepy, creepy doll. But I listed them high. And all of them, I think, sold around this price. But yeah, it sold for my full asking price of $129.95. But yeah, crazy. When I listed these, I was still doing where you could put a video in your description from YouTube. And so a lot of these were on my other YouTube channel, the toy checking video, whatever it is. And you won't believe some of the comments I got on these 3 dolls, that they were just spooky and creepy and, get rid of them type comments, because, yeah, this was just one of the craziest dolls I have ever seen. All right, it's time for me to finish getting ready and be heading out the door here shortly. Hope you enjoyed this. Get to work. Bye.